From Pedro Pascal getting paid 9 times more than his female co-star, to fans being absolutely disgusted by the gender discrimination, these are some controversial Last of Us details fans never knew. Like, did you know about the pay gap between the male and the female stars of the show? Let me tell you all the juicy details about this Variety magazine article that just dropped. They spilled all the tea on the highest paid actors in Hollywood for 2022 and 2023. And now they're spilling even more secrets about TV salaries. And let me tell you, some of these numbers are downright scandalous. So, first things first, Pedro Pascal is making bank on The Last of Us. Like, we're talking $600K per episode. That's some serious cash. But wait, it gets even crazier. His co-star, Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie on the show, only made $70K per episode. That's such a huge pay gap, and she's as important for the show as he is. Now, don't get me wrong, Pedro is a fantastic actor, and he's definitely earned his success with roles in Narcos, Game of Thrones, and The Mandalorian. But still, it's pretty wild that he's making so much more than his co-star on The Last of Us. I mean, Bella is super talented too. And it's not like she's an unknown actress. She's been in big shows like Game of Thrones and His Dark Materials. Honestly, it just goes to show you how messed up the entertainment industry can sometimes be. There's still a ton of inequality when it comes to paying, especially between men and women. And it's not just TV. We see this kind of thing happening in movies too. It's really frustrating, but I'm glad that Variety is shining a light on it and calling out these pay disparities. Maybe if enough people speak up, we can start to see some real change. But as of now, things are a little uncertain. I mean, people want to know what the future holds for Bella. And, well, considering how much outrage there has been about this pay gap, there are a lot of expectations riding on what might happen now. Will the pay gap even out? Will Bella Ramsey finally get paid what she deserves now that Ellie is the main protagonist of the story? Or will Pedro Pascal continue to rake in the big bucks while Bella is left in the dust? We just don't know. But let's not forget, it's not just about the money and the pay. The future is uncertain for the plot of the show as well. Yikes. Despite staying true to the original game material so far, showrunner Craig Mazin recently said that he's no longer feeling tied to it and is considering changing the most controversial death from the game. Whoa. Talk about shaking things up. Honestly, I don't know how I or the fans would feel about that. On the one hand, it's exciting to see what kind of twists and turns Mazin will add to the story, but on the other hand, changing a major plot point from the game could seriously upset some fans. Only time will tell what happens, but one thing's for sure, The Last of Us drama is far from over. But you know what the worst part is in all of this? Bella isn't the only gal in the industry to be facing this issue. Claire Foy from The Crown also went through the same thing. Foy, who played Queen Elizabeth II in the first 2 seasons, was reportedly paid significantly less than her co-star Matt Smith, who played Prince Philip. Can you believe it? Despite being the leader of the show and having won a Golden Globe for her performance, Foy earned just $40,000 per episode compared to Smith's $70,000. Talk about a major pay gap. It's shocking and downright unfair that an actress as talented as Foy could be paid so much less than a male co-star. But unfortunately, this is just one example of the gender pay gap that still plagues the entertainment industry. Thankfully, after the controversy surrounding Foy's pay was brought to light, the producers of The Crown vowed to fix the issue moving forward. But still, it's frustrating to think about all the talented women who have been underpaid and undervalued in Hollywood. And it's like no one ever learns, because the same thing as Bella and Claire happened to the women from Westworld as well. Well, it turns out that even big stars like Evan Rachel Wood can fall victim to the gender pay gap. Despite being one of the main characters on the hit show Westworld, Wood was reportedly earning significantly less than her male co-stars, Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris. Can you believe that? A show of this much prominence also ended up pulling the same stunts. Here we have a talented actress who is putting in just as much work as her male counterparts, but is being paid less simply because of her gender. It's outrageous. Fortunately, after the pay disparity was brought to light, the producers of the show promised to rectify the situation in future seasons. Later, in an interview, she told Jimmy Fallon that she's finally making the same amount of money as her male counterparts after getting a bump. And from what she said, it seemed like she was happy about it, but also kind of annoyed that it took this long to happen. Oh, and then there was also the famous X-Files scandal. When the show was revived in 2016, it was revealed that Gillian Anderson was being paid half of what Duchovny was earning. And let me tell you, they were both essential to the show's success. Anderson played Agent Scully, one of the most iconic female characters in TV history, while Duchovny played Agent Mulder. They had equal screen time and equal importance to the show's overall storyline, yet Anderson was being paid significantly less. It's just not right. Thankfully, Anderson was not afraid to speak out about the pay disparity, and the studio eventually rectified the situation. Plus, sometimes the situation gets so bad that the stars even threaten to leave. Take Emmy Rossum, for example. Emmy, who played the lead character Fiona Gallagher on the popular TV series Shameless, made headlines in 2016 when she demanded equal pay with her male co-star, William H. Macy. He played her father on the show. Rossum had been earning significantly less than Macy, even though she was the show's lead and had been with the show since its inception. She took a bold stance by refusing to sign on for the show's 8th season unless she was offered equal pay with Macy. If that isn't a boss woman move, I don't know what is. Rossum's stand eventually led to a resolution, and she was offered a salary equal to Macy's. She's a total boss who wasn't afraid to take a stand against the gender pay gap in the entertainment industry. I mean, she's an inspiration to women everywhere, showing that they can fight for what they deserve and demand equal pay. And guess what? Her hard work paid off. She was able to get a fair salary for herself and paved the way for other women to do the same. Thanks to her, we're one step closer to achieving gender equality in Hollywood. Viewers are hoping that the producers of The Last of Us will pay some heed to what the producers of these other shows did and give Bella the money that she deserves. And if they don't, they'll have to answer to the already enraged masses. I mean, fans are already absolutely repulsed by this gap. As soon as the report came out, people started accusing the show of having a gender pay gap. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Let's not forget they're doing the same damn job. It's not fair. It's not like this is a new problem in Hollywood. We've been hearing about the pay gap for years now, but it's still so frustrating to see it happening right in front of us. And when you consider that Pedro is a man and Bella is a woman, well, it's not a far-fetched accusation. Of course, Twitter exploded with reactions as soon as the news broke. Some fans are saying that Bella should fire her agent and get someone who can negotiate better deals for her. One Twitter user even said Bella was also a big name on Game of Thrones and, according to them, she should get more. But many are on Pascal's side too. Yep. Others are trying to defend the pay gap, saying that Pedro has more experience and brings more to the table. But come on, Bella was a major player on Game of Thrones. She's no newbie either. He probably brought his experience to every scene, but Bella did an amazing job as well. Some people speculated that the difference is because Bella was more interchangeable than Pedro at casting. Here's the thing though. It's not just about experience or popularity for some fans. It's about equal pay for equal work. And it's not like Bella did a bad job on The Last of Us. She was amazing. There are some people who are taking the diplomatic approach. They understand why he's getting that much money. But they also added that the producers should maybe increase her pay in the next season too. So, from fans being absolutely disgusted by the gender discrimination to Pedro Pascal getting paid 9 times more than his female co-star. Those were some controversial Last of Us details fans never knew.